So, I decided after 4 takes of the what makes a good fan base video that I'm gonna postpone that and see if I can come up with better reasons, because the ones I came up after trying 4 times, every time was just crap, so I'm just gonna save that for another time. But anyway, I wanted to give out some Marvel and DC news that was given out during the Fan Expo in Canada. I know it's minor news, and I don't really care much for Marvel DC, but this was intriguing nonetheless. This news was intriguing nonetheless from both Marvel and DC. Doesn't mean I'm going to read it, but I'm pretty sure a lot of you people out there, my friends, subscribers who read these books are probably interested. I probably won't pick them up, but we'll see. Maybe. This is all stuff next year. Starting with, JSA is going to be part of the relaunch next year. Going to be written again by James Robinson. Thank God for that. I've always wanted to get into JSA. I always dug them. I've always thought the characters were cool, and I'm really glad they're getting more popular. Thanks to Batman: Brave and the Bold and the Smallville episode. Which, by the way, even though that's my favorite episode right there. Even though I wasn't the biggest Smallville fan, I enjoyed Absolute Justice. I really enjoyed Absolute Justice, and I'm really glad they're still going to do JSA. But what they revealed is that the JSA is going to go back to Earth 2, meaning it's going to be on a parallel Earth, like it was in the original comics before they moved on to the regular DC universe. So this is interesting. So they're going to go back to the way things were before, because for those who don't know, JSA started out as a different universe. The Justice Society started out as a team from a different universe. And I don't know who's going to be on the team. They did say Alan Scott and a few others, but it's mostly the core JSA members. I don't know if Mr. Terrific's going to be on the team. I don't know if Captain Marvel's going to be on the team. I don't even know if Stargirl's going to be on the team. But what I do know is that they are still going to be there. Part of the relaunch coming next year. Thank God. Because I know my friend, the Mount Vernon kid, I bet he was really, really disappointed when he heard that he was really afraid that the JSA weren't going to be part of this. So, that's good. But yeah, I'm really glad for that. I don't know if taking them back to Earth 2 is a good idea. That sounds... I don't know if that sounds like a good idea, because I really I think it was a really cool move for DC to put them, back in... put them in the regular DC universe. But who knows? Maybe they can do... Maybe James Robinson will have some, more... Will have some more freedom, to do his own stories. Maybe he won't have to do all these tie-ins. Like, he won't have to do another event tie-in. Maybe he can just do stories that he wants to do, because there aren't any other teams except the JSA within Earth 2. Well, actually, no, there's about 2 others, but they're hardly mentioned. Earth 2 books usually focused on JSA back a while back when they were still part of Earth 2. But yeah, so that's interesting. Hope for the best. James Robinson, hopefully he can write some more good JSA stories. But yeah, let's move on to the next piece of DC news, and that is Stephanie Brown. Yep, she's still going to be around in the relaunch, but she's going to be spoiler again. How do I feel about this? This feels exactly how I feel about both Dick Grayson going back to Nightwing and Barbara Gordon going back to being Batgirl. I feel like this is another demotion, to that character. Stephanie was a good Batgirl. She wasn't like Barbara Gordon like she was, but she was a good Batgirl on her own. And even, during the return of Bruce Wayne, even Bruce told her, you're as good, you're well suited to be Batgirl. You're a good Batgirl. You're as good as Barbara was. So, yeah. But then again, regardless, I am glad, and I know several other fans who were fans of Stephanie being Batgirl and taking it in her own direction are glad. I know my friend Blue Goblin. If you're watching this, dude, I hope you're. Hopefully, this is good news for you of still having Stephanie Brown in here. But I don't know. At least she's still around. That's the main thing, people. but I still wanted her, you know, as Batgirl. But the other thing is that they haven't really mentioned Cassandra Cain either, and she's kind of an essential member of the Batman family. So who knows? But I don't know if Spoiler's going to get her own book. They just said Stephanie Brown's going to go back to being the Spoiler. I don't know if she's going to be part of the Batman family. I don't know if she's going to be a hero or villain or whatever. That's the thing. They just said, hey, Stephanie Brown's still here, but she's going to be Spoiler again. So I don't know. I don't know if she'll get her own book or not, but at least, you know, for Stephanie Brown fans, at least they didn't completely erase her from the universe. Well, the DC universe. But anyway, moving on now to the Marvel news. Starting off with Brian Wood, acclaimed Vertigo writer. Yeah, Vertigo writer. He's going to be taking the reins of Wolverine in 2012. Now, for those who don't know who Brian Wood is a huge Vertigo writer. He is the writer of DMZ and Northlanders, which I've read a bit. I've read a bit of Northlanders and DMZ, and those are fantastic. I'm really interested in what he can do with. I'm really curious to know what he's going to do with Wolverine, and I wonder why he decided to go to Marvel, and decide to write, of all characters, Wolverine. Maybe he'll do some cool things with Wolverine. Not saying Jason Aaron did. People, and even I agree with this, Jason Aaron was one of those few good Wolverine writers. Jason Aaron was a very good Wolverine writer, in my opinion. But maybe Brian Wood will do some cool stuff too. I mean, this is but I don't know. He has written some dark stories, like I said, Northlanders and DMZ. But he's never really, at least as far as I know, I could be wrong about this, but I've never really seen him write a superpowered book. I've never read it. I don't really think I've seen anything where he's written any character of a superhero type thing. But yeah, this could be interesting. I might give this a look-see. Who knows? Maybe it's Brian Wood. I loved DMZ and Northlanders, and maybe this will give me a chance to get back into Wolverine again. Get back to reading Wolverine comics and be excited about it. Who knows? But anyway, on to the last piece of Marvel news, and last piece of news I just wanted to talk about. Alpha Flight is getting an ongoing. Yes, after their miniseries, they are going to get an ongoing series, which is, I think it's pretty good. I know, again, my friend the Mount Vernon kid, and several of my friends and subscribers are probably interested in this again. It's good to see Alpha Flight back together again and getting their own ongoing. I did read some of the old Alpha Flight comics. They were good. Seeing a Canadian superhero team, that's always cool. To see, I've always liked superhero teams in other countries. I've always dug stories like that, so maybe I might give this a look, because they said this is coming out in 2012. They didn't give a date, and they haven't really given out a writer. I assume it's Greg Pak, because he's currently writing the miniseries, but I don't know. They didn't give out a writer. All they said was basically, hey, it's going to be, after the miniseries is done, it's going to be it's going to get an ongoing, so, yeah. But like I said, they haven't really given out a writer, or artist. They just said it's going to be out. I assume it's going to be Greg Pak, since he's currently writing the miniseries, which I hope so. Greg Pak's a great writer, and I think he's a really underrated writer as well. He did such a great job with Hulk, and he's doing a good job with the Silver Surfer miniseries, which I think is done now. But yeah, hopefully he'll write Alpha Flight, which in that case I might read. But all in all, hope you guys have enjoyed this minor news. I know it's just some of the minor stuff they've given out, and maybe they'll give out more news. And maybe, just maybe, I'll talk about it. But all in all, you guys tell me what you think of all this. What are you more interested in out of the 4 things I just talked about? And yeah, I really want to know. What do you guys think?